Hey, Odis, welcome back to the CSUSB Advising Podcast. My name is Markin from Advising and Academic Services, and I hope you're doing well. Many of you have had questions about majors and what are certain majors, what can I do with a major? And one of the majors we offer at CSUSB is the economics major. So today's guest is Economics Department Chair, Professor Daniel MacDonald. Professor MacDonald, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Matt, thanks so much for having me. I like your background there. I see the little Dragon Ball Z figurines. I'm a big fan as well. So super excited about anime and all that kind of stuff. So that's really cool that you like that too.
Yeah, and it's been great too when I have students in my office that we can relate and talk
starter,
about
right?
Exactly. So definitely, I think if anyone contacts you or has you for a professor, that might be something else that they might be able to have a conversation about.
Yeah, it's kind of the old school stuff. I'm not up on like the latest like seasons and the summer season and everything, but I like the classics. Definitely into them.
Oh yeah, I'll catch the reruns when I can. And I think kind of connected to that is, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, I've been at Cal State since 2013. I came from University of Massachusetts Amherst, which is in Western Mass, just beautiful area, close to the Berkshires. New England is just a wonderful area, but definitely much colder than out here. So it's been nice to be out in Southern California. I don't really have any family out here or anything, so it's really just me and my wife that kind of came out here and we set up and really just fallen in love with the area. So we love the outdoors. We love going for drives. We love the beach. We just love how everything is just so within range of just having fun and just enjoying the area. So we have a daughter who's about 6 years old, and we've just really been very happy and very fortunate to start up our lives out here. So I obviously love economics, but I also I like classical music. So I'm a little bit of a kind of early 20th century Russian classical music buff. I've also been getting in since the pandemic. I really got interested in like fitness, and so I'm going to the gym and lifting weights and things like that. It's kind of weird to think about your professor, in the gym, but it's fun and I like doing it. And it's kind of a nice kind of way of kind of, it's kind of a nice break from work, get out there and kind of, get your heart rate up and get some fitness in. So yeah, I kind of just get interested in things over time. And I'm always, excited and interested in learning something new.
Yeah, and I like how you say about like there's so much to do out here and everything's really close, especially being at Cal State San Bernardino. Like so much is just around this area or like an hour and a half away in any direction. So
that's right, any direction. Yeah. Desert, mountains, ocean. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I think about when I was a student, when I was younger in elementary school, middle school, and I see like my teacher, my professor out at the grocery store, it's always like this awkward, weird kind of thing. But I think too, this is good to kind of know more about you because then it's students kind of understand like, hey, you are a human being, you have your likes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's true. Like we get weirded out too when we see you at like Trader Joe's or Stater Brothers or something, but it's all about finding those connections and realizing that, we're all just kind of in this together, learning and kind of working together. So yeah, that's the kind of person I am.
Yeah, absolutely. And so working at economics, a lot of students, they hear at orientation about, okay, we have all these different majors. One of them is the economics major. But many students may not know what economics is, what that major is actually about. They might be interested, but not sure, well, what is it? So how would you describe the economics major?
Yeah, I thought about this a lot. And I think the one thing we found common among our majors is that they want to make the world a better place. And it sounds like a very kind of grand, like kind of almost kind of sappy thing. But it's true. Economics majors just start with a problem. We acquire the tools to solve it. And then we get to work on a solution. We're really problem solvers at heart. When you take intro courses, you're going to hear all of your professors tell you got to solve this problem, you got these problem sets and so on. But it's important to the economics mindset that we're just thinking about how we can solve, things, problems or issues that we see in front of us. It might be something about the environment. It might be working conditions. might be something in the financial system, how you're going to invest in crypto or, stocks or whatever. It might be housing. Why is it so expensive to live in Southern California, right? It could be a new policy proposal, like about the minimum wage, or a new tax, like a gas tax or something. And what all of these problems have in common is that you can use economic tools like, quantitative analysis or mathematics, or just, thinking through economic theories to think about, what would be a solution to that problem. So, we get criticized sometimes because we kind of overstep our boundaries. We don't stay in our lane. But, some of that we're kind of proud of, that we have the tools to solve a wide range of problems.
Yeah, and it almost seems like this is an area that it kind of bleeds into a lot of different areas as well. And I like that a lot of what you've mentioned, like some of these issues, they're all, I think, relatable to so many people. So I think you've kind of really given kind of this broad view in terms of maybe students kind of open their eyes to like, hey, this actually could be a major that I didn't even think about because maybe I had this preconceived notion of what it was.
Right.
So yeah, it's nice to hear more about it. And with your major, are there certain concentrations that your major offers?
Yeah, so kind of fitting in with that idea of just like, giving you a set of tools to solve problems, we do offer a set of concentrations so students can find what works best for what they want to get out of the major. So we offer general, applied, and mathematical concentrations. The applied concentration has you take some business classes like finance. So if you kind of want to do something more on the business side of economics, we offer a mathematical concentration that has you take some computer science or mathematics courses. I know some of those courses are very popular, and students want to learn how to code. And so we do offer that pathway for our students as well. We even offer a separate political economy major, which has you take courses in sociology, political science, geography, public policy. And so that would be a major more for if you want to do, maybe something more locally. You're interested in maybe, city government or just local politics. You want to make, you want to go back and, contribute to your hometown, right? It's the kind of major that drives students toward doing that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different interesting opportunities there. And of course, speaking of opportunities, one of the questions we get a lot is, and you've kind of alluded to this as well with some of the concentrations, is the career question that I'm sure you get a lot too. It's like, well, this major sounds interesting, but what can I actually do with it? What are some career opportunities? So anything to add to that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do have a little bit to add to that. I mean, first of all, you're at Cal State, right? Congratulations. You have a golden ticket pretty much at this point, right? A college degree gets you into so many different opportunities, right? That you want to be have access to without the degree. So first of all, you've already made like 90% of the right decision, right? But when it comes to that last 10%, what kind of additionally can you get out of like an economics major? Economics graduates can be found in all sorts of organizations. They work as data analysts for banks or for the public sector. We do consulting work for legal firms, real estate employees, economists. All parts of the public sector really employ economics graduates because we have that understanding of the economy, right? We have that kind of broader set of interests in whatever kind of policy or whatever kind of social issue, whether it be housing or the environment that you might be interested in. So our graduates do very well. Some of them intern at the Supreme Court, the Supreme County Court. Some of them work for local banks, again, consulting firms. Along the coast, like Long Beach or LA. So economics graduates can be found in all sorts of different places.
Yeah, seems like. And so someone might be listening and think like, this actually sounds like a possible major I might be interested in, or just the topic sounds interesting. Is there an introductory level course or something a student might be able to take at CSUSB?
Yeah, definitely. And I understand too, you've gotten into Cal State, so now you want to make sure you get out and you want to make sure that you're knocking off those GE requirements. And you want to make sure that you've got the right courses and everything to make sure that you graduate on time. And yeah, one popular course we have is Econ 2202, Principles of Macroeconomics. So that's with an A instead of microeconomics, that's with an I. So macroeconomics, it's about, GDP, you're studying unemployment, inflation. That satisfies a GE requirement. So that's a very popular pathway into our major. Aside from learning those, basics about the unemployment and inflation and GDP, you're learning about why income inequality has been rising, what economies should, do to get out of a recession, and so on. Another popular course is Econ 2000, which is the economy problems and perspectives. We have a lot of our first-time freshmen that move into that course that are taking that course. And this is a great course to just kind of, give you an overall kind of exposure to economics. Yeah, supply and demand, that's economics, but you can learn about how COVID affected the economy, why house prices are so high in Southern California. I think I mentioned that earlier, the socioeconomic impact of our university on the community. So it's really a course that, again, satisfies a GE requirement, but also kind of, gives you kind of an overall view of the kinds of questions that economics majors can answer. And the other thing about Econ 2000 is that once you've taken that course, you can get right into the political economy major. So we've made that another pathway into the major alongside the traditional principles of micro and macro. You can take this Econ 2000 and get right into the interesting political economy stuff as well.
Yeah, it seems like a really nice little pathway right there, taking that one class and then diving right into the major. So that's really nice. And so you talked about what students are learning in like the Econ 2000 or the Econ 2202. But I guess generally within the Econ major, can you talk more about what students are learning in the classes?
Sure. Yeah, it is somewhat of a quantitative major. So, you're required to take some statistics courses. You're going to be doing some algebra. But really, you should think of it as tools. And that's what economics is really all about. Like any economist is going to tell you about their toolbox. And it sounds kind of weird, but basically they're talking about their toolkit. They're talking about what they have in that box, because in the end, they're just tools, right? Math or statistics. They're just, ways that you can address a problem. And of course, you can address problems in other ways. So we offer a course that trains students more in qualitative methods, so in vivo. So if you're interested in interviews and surveys and you want to do that, maybe you've even conducted some surveys for some of your other classes, so you learn how to analyze that data, because that's a rich amount of data as well, right? And it's not necessarily statistics or numbers. So you learn those kinds of tools. You learn Excel and Python, right, for quantitative analysis. And all the while you're learning from accomplished faculty, right? So these are faculty who are internationally known for their research, that work in these areas of, survey analysis and interview analysis and data analysis. So yeah, you're learning all these different tools, and you're also learning different worldviews, right? Different ways of thinking about economics, because, going a little bit off topic, but, there are some misconceptions of economics, right? That it's kind of one-dimensional, there's just one kind of recipe. But economics is really a lot of different recipes, a lot of different worldviews, depending on your values and objectives. And so those are the things that you're learning in the majors.
Yeah, I like how you say that they're tools that you're learning.
Very important.
Yeah, because sometimes, as a student, we might go into a class and be like, am I ever going to use this? But you're learning something about, well, how do I solve this problem? But then I'm learning kind of those critical thinking skills to apply to other problems that I may come across in my life. And yeah,
that
and
you're more interested in, right? That you might not want to solve whatever problem the professor is posing, but you might have your own questions, and so we're equipping you for doing that.
Yeah, and if you think of it as a tool and that you're learning these tools, then you're going to be more intentional as well. So it's even like, if you think about like the cell phone, like if I think of this as an actual tool, then I'll probably be more intentional of like when and how often I'm actually looking at it and why I'm looking at my phone.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's right.
And it's good that you talked about the misconceptions as well, because whether they've heard it from someone else about this particular major, you're now kind of bringing the light about, okay, what exactly is this major, and what's like truth from what they've heard.
That's right. Yeah.
And are there any resources that your department for economics offers students?
Sure. Well, we have a very solid advising program. So I know all of you guys are working with advisors, and you have, advisors that help you kind of get through your courses. But our faculty also take a very personal approach to advising. We'll sit down with you. Sometimes we can give you some more information about kind of the course offerings that might be in the future, but we also talk to you about, what are your career interests? What do you want to do with the major? Basically, try to get a very good sense of who you are as a person, so that we can really help you out the most. So advising is a very important and very personal part of our department. We have 100 majors, but we take the time to make sure that we help every single one of them, and make sure that they're getting the best information that they can. We also offer scholarships. We offer financial aid to our students. There have been several people over the years who have donated quite large sums of money to our department. And we have 3 endowed scholarships that we use to support our students, and which really helps them out, with the cost of tuition and so on. It really helps them, be able to focus on their degree and really get through. So we have these kinds of support networks and this financial support. We don't offer any tutoring at the moment, but I think part of that is just because with the pandemic, everything was online, and it was very hard for to set up those kinds of communication networks. But now that we're shifting more back to in person, and offering more classes in person, I think there's going to be a greater need and demand for tutoring. But certainly your professors can help you out. We have a very good group here, a very supportive group, and we're here to make sure that you succeed, and that's our number one goal.
Yeah, and especially with, let's say, when students have questions, a lot of times they may not think, oh, I can ask my professor. So I mean, that's why
right,
professors have the office hours. I mean,
Mhm.
you're the ones teaching the classes, grading the exams. So who best to ask than you, as a professor teaching the class? And then some of the 2201, the micro, and the 2202 with the macro, our tutoring center in University Hall does usually have some tutors. So if you're a student listening right now and you're taking one of those 2 classes, there actually will be some help for that if you need it through the tutoring center on campus.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then as we're winding down with this, what has your department been up to lately?
Oh yeah. So what have we been doing? So we just awarded some of those scholarships that I mentioned. So we just had our scholarship season wrap up, and we're very excited to be able to offer 3 of our students scholarships, these endowed scholarships that will help them complete their coursework in the fall. I think one of the students is planning on graduating in the fall, so it's really nice to be able to help them out, right as they're finishing up their time at Cal State. We also, the other week, we had Dr. Mark Paul from USC here. Mark Paul is an expert on the economics of climate change. It's actually exciting because the following week, so I think just this week, he's scheduled to present out in Washington, D.C. To the House Oversight Committee on a Green New Deal. And we literally just had him at Cal State last week. So that was really nice. He met with our faculty, but he also met with students. We had a lunch. We had him out for dinner as well. So that was really nice. We just also finished our recruiting for 2 new faculty. So we're bringing in 2 new faculty next year. One who's coming from Colorado State, and another one coming from University of Utah. So they're going to be teaching courses on the economics of Latin America, on different basically economic tools kinds of classes that I mentioned to you earlier. So we're growing as a department. We're having lots of exciting people come and speak to us, and we're really supporting our students through these financial resources. So yeah, it's been a pretty busy last couple of months. Especially with recruiting for new professors. That usually takes a lot of work on our part, but we're very happy with the outcome, and the people that are coming in are very excited to be here, and we think that they're just going to add so much to our program.
Yeah, sounds like it. And I've learned a lot too, just
Sure,
listening to
yeah,
you talking about the economics major. Now I have more
awesome.
information that I can, talk to students about. And
Hmm.
kind of going back to you were talking about like the advising, how, students can get advised by any of the faculty
Yeah,
in economics. So that'll be great for any students listening where you might be meeting with one of the professional advisors, maybe you're meeting with me or someone else, but we now have a connection where if you are interested in economics, we can connect you with
that's
Professor
right.
MacDonald or any of the economics professors in the department.
That's right. It's really working as a team. You guys are doing amazing work. I mean, I love working with you guys. Shout out to Arturo. He's really been great for our department. But yeah, as professors, we also, we went to graduate school in economics. I've seen so many students over the years do amazing things that I'd love to share with you guys if you're interested in, certain things. I had a student last semester come to me and they said, I really want to contribute back to my community. I want to work in some kind of area like back in my home town of Rialto. And I said, well, Rialto has an economic development agency. And they said, I didn't even know such an organization existed. Or, oh, there are consulting firms, economics consulting firms. They literally just work with, legal professionals and real estate professionals to crunch numbers and do some forecasts. And they said, again, I didn't even know that existed. So when our students go out into the world and do great things and tell me about it, I can then share that with you, and we can establish those connections. And it's just been so great to see so many of our students just do some really amazing things that I didn't even know existed before they told me that they were doing them. So it's been really exciting to be a part of this, and we have that historical knowledge that can also help make it easier for you to navigate everything at Cal State and beyond.
Yeah, no, 100%. So another reason students to talk with your professors
Sure,
as
that's right.
well.
Hmm.
And yeah, so this has been very enlightening, and hopefully less, listening at this podcast, listening about how this connects to climate change or inflation,
Right.
global efforts, financing, baking, government policies. There's so many different areas you can go into with an economics degree. And then if anyone has any questions or wants more information, you can always go on the website csusb.edu/economics. And then we'll also include the economics contact info in the show notes
Great.
as
Sounds great.
well. So, Professor MacDonald, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks everyone for listening. I really, like I said, I think you've already made 90% of the right decisions by showing up here, being at Cal State. I hope that we can help you in that last 10% of really setting you on the path toward whatever you might be interested in. So thank you.